What seems like a calm scene in the New South Wales countryside could soon take a turn with ticks infecting cattle, causing a rapid spread of the cattle disease Theileria. Ticks carrying Theileria feed on cattle where the parasite enters into their bloodstream, destroying their red blood cells. Molong District Veterinarian Dr. Alan Taylor says that farmers often face stock loss with the disease being fatal if left untreated.
The cattle that are not immune to it get a decrease in red cells, and therefore they get anemic. And when they get anemic, they have trouble breathing, they have trouble walking. If they are pregnant, they will quite often abort, and some will die, or quite a few will die actually.
Recent deaths in rural New South Wales regions cause an economic loss that psychologically affects farmers who fear for their reputation.
Other people, as I said, don't want to tell the neighbours because they think it's a slight on them, even though it's not. They weren't aware that the animals had it, and it is not notifiable. We don't go out and put a big quarantine notice on the front gate. But some people do need a little bit of counselling as far as help.
Since 2007, the disease has been identified in the mid-coast, spreading to the Tablelands district and recently into the Slopes region of New South Wales. Farmers are denying this disease is a particular problem for their area.
I don't think that's a problem in our zone here. It's a protozoan disease, and I don't think it's present in our zone as yet. But being a protozoan sort of a disease, it's quite possible we might get it, but if we continue to carry out proper animal practices and animal health guidelines, we shouldn't have a problem.
In a survey on affected beef producers, the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries found the cost to treat the disease was around $67 per animal. Cattle Health Coordinator Dr. Graham Bailey says that effort is being undertaken by the New South Wales Government to stop the disease from further spreading.
The New South Wales Department of Primary Industry, together with other departments of agriculture from other states and national farming organisations, have formed what's called a Theileria working group, and that group has been active in terms of assessing the importance of the disease from a trade perspective. Parties have developed extension materials which are now available for farmers to access on the internet, and the Theileria working group has also been working at developing research priorities for understanding more about the disease.
Last year, it was reported that there were 275 cases where Theileria tested positive here at the Elizabeth Macarthur Agricultural Institute. It is predicted that this number will increase this year.
We're receiving submissions for Theileria exclusion most weeks. So usually we end up diagnosing 1 or 2 cases a week, and they're generally coming from throughout New South Wales, probably quite a few cases from northern New South Wales, but also increasingly the south coast and inland, including the southwest slopes.
Confirmation of the disease occurs when blood samples are taken from suspected animals and tested in the laboratory for the protozoa parasite.
This is a blood smear from an animal that's affected by Theileria, and you can see that there are organisms within the red blood cells here, and these are Theileria.
There are a number of drugs to treat theileriosis that are also being used to treat other livestock diseases. These drugs have a mixed success rate. Buparvicone or BPQ is a drug used internationally that is being trialled in Australia on a small scale.
This is a drug that's used particularly in Africa to treat a Theileria that's present in Africa but not present in Australia. And early on we realised that buparvicone would be a very effective treatment for cattle in Australia.
The Department of Agriculture aims to educate farmers about Theileria. It is also anticipated that they will continue their research projects to develop preventative measures and treatments. Afra Fazli, UTS News.